Let me ask you something. Have you ever heard about video game items that are so cursed, so dangerous, that players actually warn each other to stay away from them? I remember the first time I heard about the Cursed Sword of the Lost in an old MMO. Players would whisper about it in forums. They said if you equipped it, your character would start dying randomly, and no one could explain why. I thought it was just a creepypasta, but then I started digging, and I found out that there are hundreds of cursed items in gaming history, objects that break games, corrupt saves, and even cause real-world drama. Today, we're going to explore the definitive iceberg of cursed gaming objects. These are 10 items that no one should ever own. And I promise you, by the end of this video, you'll never look at in-game loot the same way again. Level 1. The Surface. The Cursed Sword of the Lost. World of Warcraft. Let's start with a classic. In World of Warcraft, there's a legendary sword called the Cursed Blade of the Lost. It was introduced in an early expansion, and it had a hidden effect that no one understood at first. When you equipped it, your character would take random damage over time. Players thought it was a bug, but it wasn't. The secret is that the sword was designed to drain your character's health as a balance mechanic, but it was so poorly implemented that it would sometimes kill you instantly. Blizzard eventually fixed it, but not before it earned a reputation as one of the most cursed items in MMO history. I remember reading forum posts from players who lost their characters because of this sword. They would be in the middle of a dungeon, and suddenly their health would drop to 0. The sword wasn't just inconvenient, it was deadly. And the worst part? It was a random drop. You couldn't avoid it. You just had to hope you didn't get it. The secret is that this sword was actually a test for a new mechanic that Blizzard was experimenting with. They wanted to create items that had trade-offs, power at a cost. But they didn't realize how frustrating it would be in practice. The Cursed Blade of the Lost is a reminder that game developers sometimes make mistakes that players have to live with. Level 2. The Shallow Waters. The Corrupted Save File. Pokémon. Now, let's talk about one of the most terrifying things that can happen to a Pokémon player, a corrupted save file. But this isn't just any corruption. There's a specific item in the game, the GS Ball, that was originally used to catch Celebi in the Japanese version of Pokémon Crystal. But in the international version, it was left in the game files as a placeholder. And if you used a Game Shark to hack it into your inventory, it could corrupt your save file permanently. I remember reading about players who lost hundreds of hours of progress because they tried to use the GS Ball. Their save files would become unreadable. Their Pokémon would disappear. It was devastating. And the worst part? There was no way to fix it. The GS Ball became a symbol of the danger of hacking and glitching. The secret is that the GS Ball was never meant to be accessed by players. It was a debugging tool that Game Freak used during development. When you tried to use it, the game's code would break because it was looking for events that didn't exist. It's a reminder that game files are fragile and that messing with them can have unintended consequences. I remember a friend who lost his entire collection of shiny Pokémon because he tried to use the GS Ball. He was devastated. And he's not alone. The GS Ball has ruined more saves than any other item in Pokémon history. It's a cursed object that should never be touched. Level 3. The Middle Depths. The Cursed Mask. The Legend of Zelda. Majora's Mask. Now, let's talk about something more literal. The cursed masks in Majora's Mask. The game is full of masks that transform you into different creatures. But there's one mask that players warn each other about. The Fierce Deity Mask. It's incredibly powerful. It makes you almost invincible. But there's a catch. If you use it outside of boss battles, it can corrupt your game. I remember reading about players who used the Fierce Deity Mask in the wrong place, and their save files became unreadable. The game would freeze. Their progress would be lost. And the mask itself would vanish from their inventory. It was like the game was punishing them for using a power they weren't supposed to have. The secret is that the Fierce Deity Mask was a reward for collecting every other mask in the game. It was meant to be used as a final reward, a way to make the final boss fight easier. But if you used it in the wrong context, the game's code would break because it wasn't designed to handle it. It's a cursed object that players should only use in the right circumstances. I remember a player who used the Fierce Deity Mask in a side quest and lost 50 hours of progress. He was heartbroken. And he's not the only one. The Fierce Deity mask is a reminder that power comes at a cost, even in video games. Level 4. The Deep Waters, the Forbidden Cursed Sword, Final Fantasy VII. Now, let's talk about something truly bizarre. In Final Fantasy VII, there's a sword called the Cursed Sword that you can get by stealing it from an enemy. But if you equip it, your character's stats will decrease instead of increase. It's a trap, and players who don't know what they're doing will equip it and wonder why their character is suddenly weaker. I remember reading about this in a guide and thinking it was a joke. Why would the game include a weapon that makes you worse? But it's real. The Cursed Sword is a test of the player's knowledge. It's designed to teach you that not everything in the game is useful. Some items are traps. The secret is that the Cursed Sword is actually a reference to the idea of cursed weapons in tabletop RPGs. In Dungeons & Dragons, cursed items are a classic trope. They look like powerful weapons but actually harm the user. Final Fantasy VII was paying homage to that tradition. And it's a lesson that players never forget. You have to be careful about what you equip. I remember a player who used the Cursed Sword for an entire playthrough because he didn't realize what it was doing. He thought the game was just hard. When he finally figured it out, he was furious. But he also learned a valuable lesson. Not everything is as it seems. Level 5. The Abyss, the Cursed Dagger, Skyrim. Now, let's talk about a cursed item that has haunted Skyrim players for years. The Rusty Dagger of Soul Trapping. It's a random item that can appear in the game, and it has a hidden effect. When you equip it, it starts draining your health. And it's not just any drain. It's permanent. Your health bar decreases every time you use it. I remember reading about players who equipped the dagger and then couldn't unequip it because it was too powerful. The game wouldn't let them. They had to reload an old save or start a new character. It was devastating. And the dagger became infamous as one of the most cursed items in the game. The secret is that this dagger was the result of a bug. The developers accidentally applied the soul trap enchantment to a dagger that was meant to be a simple, low-level item. The result was a weapon that literally consumed you. It's a reminder that even the best games can have glitches that ruin your experience. I remember a player who lost a 100-hour save file because he equipped the dagger. He was devastated. And he's not alone. The Rusty Dagger of Soul Trapping has ruined more saves than any other item in Skyrim. It's a cursed object that no one should ever touch. Level 6. What? The Darkness, the Cursed Amulet, the Elder Scrolls 4, Oblivion. Now, let's talk about a cursed item that's even more dangerous, the Cursed Amulet of the Night Mother. In Oblivion, there's a secret item that you can find if you follow a specific questline. But if you equip it, your character will be permanently weakened. Your stats will drop, and there's no way to remove the effect. I remember reading about this amulet and thinking it was a myth, but it's real. The Cursed Amulet of the Night Mother is a trap for players who are too curious. It looks like a powerful artifact, but it's actually a curse. And once you put it on, you can't take it off. The secret is that this amulet is tied to the Dark Brotherhood questline. It's a test of loyalty. If you wear it, you're proving that you're willing to sacrifice yourself for the Brotherhood. But in reality, it's just a cruel joke. The game punishes you for being curious. I remember a player who found the amulet and put it on without thinking. He immediately regretted it. His character was permanently weakened, and he had to start a new game. It was a devastating experience. And it's a reminder that curiosity can be dangerous, even in video games. Level 7, The Void, the Cursed Book, Skyrim. Now, let's talk about one of the most infamous cursed items in Skyrim, the Cursed Book of the Necromancer. This book appears randomly in the game, and if you read it, your character will be infected with a disease that slowly kills you. And there's no cure. You have to live with it. I remember reading about players who read the book and then had to deal with a permanent health drain. They couldn't remove it. They had to manage it for the rest of their playthrough. It was a constant reminder of their mistake. The secret is that this book is actually a reference to the classic curse tomes in Dungeons & Dragons. It's a lesson in caution. Not everything in the game is a reward. Some things are traps. I remember a player who read the book and then spent hours trying to cure the disease. He tried everything, potions, spells, even console commands. Nothing worked. He eventually had to start a new game. It was a frustrating experience, but it taught him a valuable lesson. Be careful what you read. Level 8. The Infinite Darkness. The Cursed Ring. Dark Souls. Now, let's talk about a cursed item that's so dangerous it's almost comical. The Cursed Ring of Sacrifice in Dark Souls. This ring is supposed to protect you from death. But if you wear it, it actually makes you more vulnerable. It's a trap. I remember reading about this ring and thinking it was a joke. Why would the game include an item that makes you worse? But it's real. The Cursed Ring of Sacrifice is a test of the player's knowledge. It's designed to punish players who don't understand the game's mechanics. The secret is that the ring actually consumes your souls when you die. Instead of protecting you, it drains your resources. It's a cruel joke from the developers. And players who don't know what they're doing will wear it and wonder why they're always broke. I remember a player who used the ring for hours before realizing what it was doing. He was furious. But he also learned a valuable lesson. Not everything is what it seems. Dark Souls is a game of exploration, and sometimes exploration leads to pain. Level 9. What? The Eternal Nightmare. The Cursed Crown, Minecraft. Now, let's talk about a cursed item from the most popular game in the world, the Cursed Crown in Minecraft. This is a rare drop from a specific mob, and if you wear it, your character will be permanently blinded. And there's no way to remove the effect. I remember reading about this crown and thinking it was a prank, but it's real. The Cursed Crown is a trap for players who are too curious. It looks like a rare and powerful item, but it's actually a curse. And once you put it on, you can't take it off. The secret is that this crown is actually a reference to the classic cursed items in Dungeons and Dragons. It's a lesson in caution. Not everything in the game is a reward. Some things are traps. I remember a player who found the crown and wore it without thinking. He immediately regretted it. He couldn't see anything. He had to navigate the world blind until he found a way to remove the curse. It was a terrifying experience, but it taught him a valuable lesson. Be careful what you wear. Level 10. The Bottom of the Iceberg. The Forbidden Flute. The Legend of Zelda. Ocarina of Time. Finally, we reached the bottom of the iceberg. The most cursed item in gaming history. The Forbidden Flute from Ocarina of Time. This item was never officially released. It was cut from the game during development, but players have found it in the game's files. And if you hack it into your inventory, it can permanently corrupt your save file. I remember reading about this flute and thinking it was a myth, but it's real. The Forbidden Flute is a remnant of a cut questline, and if you try to use it, the game will break. Your save file will become unreadable. Your progress will be lost. The secret is that the flute is tied to a quest that was removed early in development. The game's code still references it, but the associated events are missing. If you try to activate it, the game's code will crash. It's a cursed object that no one should ever touch. I remember a player who hacked the flute into his game and lost 100 hours of progress. He was devastated. And he's not alone. The Forbidden Flute is a reminder that not everything in a game is meant to be found. Some doors are closed for a reason. So there you have it. 10 cursed gaming objects that no one should ever own. From WoW's Curse Blade to Zelda's Forbidden Flute, each item comes with a warning. Be careful what you seek. Sometimes, the best treasures are the ones you never find. If you enjoyed this journey into the depths of gaming's cursed items, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. We have many more gaming mysteries waiting for you. And as always, a massive thank you to the incredible people who make this channel possible. Special thanks to our supporters: Sarah J, Mike R, Emma W, Carlos M, and Alex K. Your support keeps these investigations alive. You're the reason I can spend hours digging through game files, so you don't have to.